Hi, and welcome to Purposeful Progress newsletter. I'm Shannon Lovegren. I am here to give you tips and tricks on sustainability, life hacks, and introduce you to a fabulous Changemaker of the week. So let's get into it. Hi, Changemakers. This week's climate-based fellowship focus was on energy. And so I am deep diving into the challenges and the solutions, and I thought I would share a few takeaways plus my own thoughts about energy. So energy is what fuels our lives. It is within us and it is around us, and how we use it matters because we're connected by it. So do we use energy from the sun and the wind, or from dead matter from like millions of years ago? Like, do you feel the difference? Because our planet sure does. And just think about when you're low energy. Like, everyone feels it because you're down to it. But when you walk into the room and you're like vibing, yeah, you light up the place. It is the same story. The same is true on a global scale. The kind of energy we use determines whether our planet thrives or fries, and whether people can live up to their full potential. They need that energy. So what does it mean for us living on planet Earth, and what is our current situation? So the energy sector is the largest source of greenhouse gases, powering 73% of emissions. Electricity alone is about 26% of global emissions, and burning coal, oil, and gas is heating up the planet, polluting our air, and killing 3.6 million people a year just from dirty air. So what are the opportunities and challenges? And this is a super short version. Solar and wind are the cheapest power in much of the world, and it is growing faster than we ever predicted. But the challenge is storage and reliability. The sun doesn't shine at midnight and wind takes naps. But batteries are the answer, and they are continuing to innovate. So that's like we're crossing our fingers, like, let's go batteries. And then there's energy equity. Access to clean power is still uneven. Up here in the global north, we got it all. Down in the global south, there are many places where there's limited access to energy, and we know that energy equals potential. However, mini grids in places like Sub-Saharan Africa are changing lives by bringing first-time electricity access. And this is a huge opportunity for unlocking human potential and testing small modular solutions on a grand scale. So what can you do? And yes, I know this is basic. However, all solutions start with us making better decisions. So when you know better, you do better. So let's go. This is the number one thing you can do. Use less energy and reduce your reliance on fossil fuels. I mean, I know, duh. This is personal and political. Turn off your lights, insulate your home, upgrade to solar if you can, and then talk to your local government about their energy saving strategies. Energy is the ultimate vibe setter. Manage it well, both personally and globally, and we unlock human potential. Waste it, and we risk dimming the lights on the only home we've got. So let's bring energy to get people talking about energy and its potential, and it's the solutions and all the things that we need to do to start unlocking the energy that we all share as we exist on this planet. So let's go bring the energy. So it is my pleasure to introduce the Changemaker of the week, Katie Lee. Katie, tell me about yourself and what you're passionate about.
Thank you, Shannon. So my name is Katie Lee. I'm based in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I am a sustainability consultant that works primarily with local governments. My passion is for sustainability in all aspects of my life. I started sort of my sustainability journey, creating a recycling program for my 5th grade classroom, and that passion to get involved in issues and impact that benefit our collective community, and work toward making solutions for what I believe is the biggest challenge facing the world, which is climate change. So, tackling that in both my personal and professional life.
Amazing. So with that in mind, like how do you identify as a change maker? What does that mean to you?
That's a great question. I think the way that I conceptualize it, being a change maker has really honed in being part of community-led action. I think that, addressing climate change not only it takes a community focus, but it requires us to think about the other challenges that are facing people and how we can bridge both our sustainability goals with the challenges that people are facing in their everyday life. In my work in consulting, that can take the form of creating a climate action plan that is both focused on reducing the emissions from the buildings and energy sector, but also taking into account like how are people struggling with energy affordability. How is the resilience of our grid making people vulnerable to health impacts or financial impacts when there's a grid outage. So the way that I think about change is, again, not only building a coalition of people who are invested in this change, but also making sure that the outcomes that we're working toward are equitable and address a wide range of the challenges that people are facing every day.
Yeah, amazing. So, Katie, what are you working on now? Like, what is your goal now, and how can we help you in supporting that?
So my primary goal right now is I am doing a capstone project for the Climate-Based Fellowship. It is focused on creating a climate Kickstarter toolkit for local governments to start taking early action on climate change. This was born out of my experience in consulting and working with small to medium-sized cities. These communities often face two main challenges. The first of which is funding. They have smaller and more limited budgets. And second is just staff capacity. Many small to medium-sized cities who are starting out in climate action may not have a sustainability manager or director and may just have a passionate local staff champion who is willing to move the needle on this work. And so the toolkit is really aimed at supporting those staff members and taking the initial steps to build a local climate movement in their community. So those key components are coalition building, so identifying the key stakeholders in the community, as well as building internal staff buy-in. Another element is community engagement and education. So figuring out what messages, what activities, what are ways that we can get the community involved and really bought into this process, which serves you well when you look toward implementation. Another component is data analysis. So how do we use the wealth of science, data, and research that is already available and make it easily understandable to staff members and community members who have a wide range of technical expertise. And then finally is identifying high impact near-term strategies that cities can really take action on now. So we have this data and science to know what the most impactful solutions are to mitigate greenhouse gas emissions. And so how do we create frameworks that move these strategies from idea into action in a way that's tailored to the local community? So that is my main project that I'm working on now. And, I would love any support on building out this idea, but also, thought partners in how to refine this and make this scalable and impactful for, again, local champions to take action.
Yeah, well, that sounds great. Anyone, if you have some ideas, follow Katie and connect with Katie on LinkedIn. And thank you so much for being part of the Purposeful Progress newsletter today. And with that, I say thank you, and we will see you again.
Thank you, Shannon. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Thanks for watching the Purposeful Progress newsletter. Hit like and subscribe, tap that bell so you don't miss an episode. And if you want to go deeper, look into my Sustainability for Changemakers course and subscribe to our newsletter. Links are below. And if you would like one-on-one coaching with me, go to shannonlovegren.com. And I will see you next time.